Okay, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and good afternoon, everyone. Welcome on board. I'm really glad and overjoyed to have all of you with me today. We are going to have this lovely and useful, inshallah, session. Okay, it will last for 2 hours. The first part will be dedicated to academic writing. We are going to share a sample of an essay written by one of my students, and we are going to analyze everything in this essay, the structure of her essay, the introduction, body paragraphs, conclusion. We are going to correct her grammar and vocabulary mistakes so we can know things that we shouldn't do in our essays. If you want to write an essay, we need to avoid some major problems that we always, or mistakes that we always make in our writing. So this is the first part. It's really useful for anyone to attend. And then the second part, I'm going to answer this big question: how can we improve our English language proficiency? How can we do this? From where we can start? I'm going to answer this question in the second part. So it's really important to know the answer. And from where can we start? How long is the session? 2 hours maximum, ya Ruru. Just 2 hours maximum, بإذن الله الواحد الأحد. So let's start by sharing the screen, and let's say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Once I start explaining, please don't ask me many questions on the chat box. Just give me time to finish a whole section, and whenever you have any question, just write it on a piece of paper and then post your question after I'm done. And I promise, I do promise to cover and respond to all your questions. Don't worry at all. You are dealing with a sister, not with an English instructor. Okay, just a sister. So let's start and share the screen. Here we are. So hope that you can see it. Everything is clear. Okay. Okay. So as you can see here, this is me, Asma Muhammad Ibrahim. Who's Asma? I have been teaching English as a foreign language for almost 20 years. Mainly, I'm a university English instructor. Okay, a university English instructor. I have been teaching English as a foreign language in different universities in Egypt and even outside Egypt. In Egypt, I worked for many years as an English instructor at different private universities like جامعة مصر للعلوم والتكنولوجيا, جامعة المستقبل, and I was a coordinator at BUC جامعة بدر. And then I moved to جامعة الملك عبد العزيز, King Abdulaziz University. I worked there as an English instructor for 5 years. Then I got my CELTA. You know, I'm a certified English instructor, by the way. I'm a certified English instructor. Certified, which means I got this certificate. CELTA stands for Certificate of English Language Teaching for Adults from Cambridge University. So I'm a certified one, which means I can teach English at any place all over the world. Okay. As you can see, this is the name of my main course, Advanced Grammar and Vocabulary for IELTS and Academic English. As you all know, that I have a page on Facebook. This is the name of the page, which is the main course. This is the main course that I have been teaching for almost 4 years. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I have a lovely team. I'm not working just as Asma, as an individual. We have a big team, writing, speaking team, and I'm the main instructor who's teaching all the grammar problems and vocabulary problems that we all face or make in our speaking and writing. Okay, so let me start talking about the first part of the session, which is things not to do in an essay. Before starting talking about don'ts and things that we shouldn't do in essay writing, let's start talking about how to write, or what's the structure of a coherent essay. Before telling you don'ts, never do this, avoid such mistakes in academic writing, you need first to know what's the correct structure of an academic essay. So I really loved this visual. I'm going to compare writing a good, coherent, well-organized essay with building a house. So if you want to build a strong house, you should have basic fundamentals, which means you have good foundation, yeah, solid foundation with walls and a roof to have a perfect, strong house. The same is with writing an academic essay. If you want to write a good piece of writing, you must do some basic fundamentals. You should have a good structure, well-developed ideas. Okay, you should have a good introduction with 2 body paragraphs and an effective conclusion. Inside such paragraphs, you have to know what should be included in each paragraph. You have to know how to use variety of lexical resource. You know how to use correct grammar and grammatical range. So this is the perfect way comparing a good essay with a strong house. So let's move to the structure of a correct, coherent, and clear essay. So how it should look like. So if I ask you, any one of you, to write a correct essay, Asma, my first question is, what should be included in my essay? It's not a free writing, okay? It's not a free writing. You have to follow certain steps and stages in order to deliver a correct essay. So, as you can see in this lovely visual, we have minimum 4 paragraphs. We have introduction, the first body paragraph, the second body paragraph, and then an effective conclusion. Okay, so first of all, just like I'm trying to sum it up. When I say I'm going to write a good introduction for my academic essay, what should be included? Number 1, these are the elements that you have to know, guys. Number 1, you need to paraphrase the question of the essay in the first sentence. So we have like a common mistake whenever I ask you to write introduction, just write something in general. Never do this. Never do this. This is the first mistake that you need to avoid. Never just write something in general. No. Whenever you are going to see this with me, don't worry, just after like 10 minutes. Whenever you have an essay topic, read it carefully, understand the message, underline the micro-topic words, things that you need to cover in your essay. So in the introduction, the first sentence, you need to paraphrase the topic of the essay in your own words. Why? To show off your lexical resource, the power of synonyms and paraphrase, that you have this kind of range, vocabulary range, that you can use them flexibly and accurately. So this is the first sentence that should be included in any essay. I'm going to show you, Ya Hanan, Habib Al. And after we are done with paraphrasing the topic of the essay, I'm going to show you a sample now. We will move to mentioning the thesis. If I ask you, Ya Hanan, or anyone, to state your opinion about the essay, what do you think about this essay? If you agree or disagree with this topic of an essay, you must mention your point of view, your position. Do you agree or disagree in the introduction? The third last sentence that should be included in the introductory paragraph, that you have to outline, to write an outline. What do you mean with an outline, Asma? Simply an outline to tell the examiner what you are going to cover, or the main points that you will cover in body paragraph 1 and body paragraph 2, just giving me a summary that this essay will talk about 1 and 2. That's it. This is an impressive introductory paragraph of any academic essay. You paraphrase the topic of the essay. Sentence number 2, you state your opinion. Sentence number 3, you give me an outline. Tell me what you are going to talk about in your essay. This is a good introduction. You are done with this. Let's move to the first body paragraph and the second body paragraph. This is like a burger sandwich. Whenever you have a burger sandwich, we have the 2 buns, yeah? The 2 buns, اللي هي بتبقى introduction and conclusion. Inside, you have the juicy burger, lettuce, mayonnaise, pickles, things that make your sandwich very tasty. So this is these two body paragraphs. These are, you are going to include minimum 100 words. You have to like count them, minimum 100 words in each body paragraph, because you are going to include all the details. These are the arguments that will be included in the two body paragraphs with your illustration, explanation, and then you need to support your argument with an example. So as you can see in this visual, that in any body paragraph, if I ask you, Sameh, to write a body paragraph, you have to know that you need to follow these steps. Number one, write one main idea that supports or covers part of your essay, that supports the argument of this essay. So number one, write your first main idea, just one. Please avoid listing. Avoid listing firstly, secondly, thirdly in one paragraph. These things that you must avoid in academic writing. So in each body paragraph, you need to mention only one main idea, which is called a topic sentence. So once you write your argument, your main idea, that I will show this to you after like few minutes, you need to explain. يعني إيه? Illustrate. What do you mean? I mean that I don't understand the topic sentence. I don't understand your idea. Please rephrase yourself, or provide me a result or a cause to make me understand the whole argument. So in any body paragraph, you need to include one main idea. This is important. This is really important. And then you need to explain this main idea, illustrate it, make it easier to me to understand your point of view. And after you are done with illustration, then you have to prove your argument. How can I prove my argument? By giving a relevant example. An example that supports your argument. So I will be totally convinced with your argument. This is how we write a body paragraph. So as you can see, the body paragraph is either the first, the second, or even three body paragraphs. We need to include one main idea with illustration, and then you need to provide an example. And finally, the last paragraph is the concluding paragraph. What? The concluding paragraph. We consider the concluding paragraph as the easiest one. Why? You are done with the hard work. You are done with the introduction, the body paragraph. It's time to reiterate. What do I mean with reiterate? Reiterate, which means you try to give me a summary of what was written in the introduction plus the two main ideas mentioned in your conclusion. And if you are asked to provide your opinion, you must state your opinion again in the concluding paragraph. This is how your essay or your academic essay should be look like. It should be perfect. A perfect structure, organized, coherent, clear, connected, okay? Introduction with certain elements, two body paragraphs with some elements, and a concluding paragraph, which is like the summary of what was written in the introduction and the two main ideas in the concluding paragraph. We are going to correct an essay because Hanan asked me, Asma, show me how can we paraphrase the topic of the essay. Show me in order to know and understand and to learn. I'm going to show you, sweet, and I'm going to show everyone with me by giving you a real essay written by one of my students. This student from a previous round, she's a female, she's a girl, a lady, and she wrote her first essay. It was an opinion essay, and this was like her first week in my course, Advanced Grammar and Vocabulary. So you will find many grammar mistakes, many vocabulary mistakes, although her level was intermediate, B1, which is a good level, متوسط, okay? But we have a big problem when it comes to writing, a big problem with the structure, a big problem with grammar, vocabulary, and how we connect our ideas together, okay? But before we start correcting an essay, I can't ask you to correct an essay with me without showing you a parameter, a rubric. معيار. So you have to show me المعيار بتاعك, your parameter that I'm going to follow in order to be able to correct her essay with you. This is the parameter. This is what I give my team. I have a writing team. So whenever you write an essay in my course, an academic essay, after I teach you how to do this, they are going to follow this one, this rubric. This is from Cambridge. I got this rubric from Cambridge University. So whenever you want to submit a correct essay, a coherent one, you need to follow all these steps. So we have 4 parameters here. 4 معايير بشتغل عليهم معاك. Number 1, task response. I need to make sure that when I give you this topic of an essay, you already covered all parts of this topic in your writing. It accounts for 25%, 25% من total score. So again, what do I mean with task response? Number 1, you answer the question being asked. I ask you a question, already answered in your essay. This is task response. Number 2, you answer all parts of the question, not just parts, no, all of them are answered in your essay. Number 3, we have this one, which is really important. You already mentioned your opinion. What do you think? In my opinion, I state my opinion. Where do you state your opinion? In the 2 paragraphs. Don't forget this one, it's really crucial. We must mention our opinions in the introduction and conclusion. In what? In the introduction and conclusion. And also you need, whenever you write any body paragraph with a topic sentence, you must support your topic sentence with relevant, well-developed ideas. This is what I mean with task response. This is the first parameter that I'm going to look at, and to make sure that you already covered all parts of the question, you stated your opinion in the introduction and conclusion, and also when you provide the 2 topic sentences in the 2 body paragraphs, you illustrate them, okay? I could find the progression of your ideas, okay, with relevant ideas, relevant vocabulary, and with a relevant example. The second parameter is coherence and cohesion. It accounts for 25% of the total of your writing. عليها 25%. Coherence and cohesion, it could be a bit difficult 2 words. What do you mean with coherence and what do you mean with cohesion? So let me explain that. When I say coherence, it means that this essay is clear. Allah, كلمة سهلة خالص. Your essay is clear and easy to understand. I'm done with reading Riham's essay. I could understand every word which is written. I could understand the message. I could understand all your ideas. This is what I mean that your essay is coherent, clear, and underline this word, clear, because we have, as Arabs, a big problem with clarity. As Arabs, we have a big problem with clarity. Number 2, when I say cohesion, it means you need to use linking words and phrases to connect your sentences and your ideas. So 2 things which are really important for cohesion and coherence in your essay. The idea, the message, the ideas are clear, the message is clear, okay? The sequence is really organized. And number 2, the structure is perfect. And number 2, you try to use appropriate, effective linking words and phrases to connect your sentences and paragraphs together. This is what we're going to assess in my students' essay now. Task response, number 1. Number 2, cohesion and coherence. The third parameter is lexical resource, vocabulary. This is language. This is language. Whenever you acquire a new language, any language, you must acquire vocabulary, phrases, expressions, okay? And then when you have good vocabulary, good command of vocabulary, you need to use such vocabulary in correct sentences. perfect structures, no grammar mistakes. So I could understand the message. I could understand the words written in such sentences. So let's have the second part, which is the English language that we all have a problem with when it comes to vocabulary and grammar. So vocabulary, what do you mean that if I want to get like the total here or the high score in lexical resource, what should I do? What should I do? I'm going to answer this question now. Number one, you try to use words that are both appropriate and precise. And you have a big problem, guys, with this one. I have wide experience with correcting essays for many years. Okay, I've been teaching this course for many, many years, like almost 4 years. So we have a big problem that once I ask you to write an essay, they start to use a dictionary to get new words and choose it in their essays. Are you sure that these words are appropriate or precise? I don't know. I just found that this is the meaning in a dictionary, especially from Arabic into English. So I'm trying to use these new words in my essay. They are not precise. They are not accurate. They are not appropriate. You have to make sure that the words that you are using are appropriate and relevant and precise. So we have a big problem with this issue. And I'm going to show you this problem in the coming essay now. A big problem. The second one, using a range of vocabulary. What do I mean with range? When I ask you, whenever you have a topic of an essay, and I ask you to paraphrase the topic of an essay in the introduction. So try to show me the power of synonyms and paraphrase. Never copy the main words. Never do this. So these are things that you shouldn't do in an essay. Never copy the main words from the topic of the essay. Try to show off your synonyms or your power of paraphrase. And then show me that you are an educated person. How can I be an educated? By reading a lot. Whenever you try to read about different topics, the most common topics that we all can have in writing or speaking exams, you should have good ideas about different topics. And I'm going to express such ideas by topic-specific words that tell the examiner that I'm an educated person. I know, I have been reading about this topic before. I have good lexical resource, an accurate lexical resource about this topic. This is what I mean with vocabulary, by the way. The last one is grammatical range and accuracy. Grammar. We have a big problem with grammar. Why? We have been learning grammar as students for many, many years. And then when I ask you to use correct structures in your writing or speaking, you don't know. You are not sure about your structures. You already learned grammar as some tests that I'm going to have like multiple choices, correct or wrong, to correct some words in a paragraph or in like some sentences. But if I ask you to use the correct grammar in speaking and writing, you don't know. So I'm going to correct your grammar in your essay. How can you correct? I'm going to, first of all, to focus on the variety of your sentences. Any variety. What about the types of sentences? Do you use complex sentences, compound sentences, complex compound sentences, or you are just using choppy, short, simple sentences? This is not good in your academic essay. You must avoid using simple, short sentences. You need to use variety of complex, compound, and complex compound sentences. And most of you don't know what do you mean with complex or compound complex sentences. We don't know. And this is also covered in my course. Also, we are going to assess in your essay if you use a range of grammatical structure and if you produce error-free sentences. What do you mean with use a range of grammatical structures? I mean that try to show off your structures. بنية الجمل تعمل variety. For example, try to use conditional structures, inversion, variety of sentences, passive voice, variety of tenses, things like this. To show off your grammatical range. التنوعات في بنية الجمل. This is really important in any academic essay. So let's correct an essay together by applying this rubric. I'm going to apply this rubric that I already covered with you quickly while we are assessing together an essay written by one of my students from a previous round. Okay, so let me just, okay, stop share. And let's have the document. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Share screen. Here we are. Okay. So can you see now the essay, huh? The essay written by my student. Can you see it? Just confirm, just say that it's okay to make sure that everything is fine with you. Just say yes. You can see the essay, yeah? Just say okay. Okay, confirmed. Okay. Thank you. So, okay, as you can see here, we have this topic of the essay. We have here the essay topic, as you can see. And we have here the answer, okay, of my student. We have here, like, as you can see, the structure. We have the introduction. We have the first body paragraph. We have the second body paragraph written by my student. And we have here like a short concluding paragraph, as you can see. This is like the layout, how it looks like. You'll find here, like on this left margin, you find the correction of one of my examiners in my course. Okay, that can see here the correction. And after having this essay corrected by my examiner, correcting her grammar and vocabulary, we have this table that we already do in my course, Advanced Grammar. This is what you have in my course. Because in my course, you are asked to write 8 academic essays after you know how to write them. And then we're going, your essays will be corrected like this. And then there'll be this table assessing the 4 parameters, the task response, you see, cohesion and coherence, lexical resource, the vocabulary, and the grammar. And you will find comments written by the examiner about each parameter. And then you'll find here a score or an overall band, which means a score, like, because these academic essays are the same like IELTS Task 2 essays. IELTS, if you know, IELTS is an exam known all over the world, released by Cambridge. If you want to immigrate or if you want to get a free scholarship, you need to take IELTS. So IELTS, we have this exam to assess your English language proficiency. Part of this exam, we have writing exam, which is called IELTS Task 2 essay for both general module or academic module in IELTS. So I'm following the same rubric. When I teach my students how to write a correct academic essay, it's the same structure of IELTS Task 2 essay. So my examiners, they know how to correct this. They use the Cambridge rubric to assess the students. And then they give them overall band, which means the score. And then this score equals what? What's the level of this student from her first essay? Like her level was B1 intermediate, because this is all like her first essay in her course with me. Okay, let's analyze Khulud. Her name is Khulud. Khulud's essay. First of all, let me read the topic of the essay with you. In some countries, an increasing number of people are suffering from health problems as a result of eating too much fast food. It's therefore necessary for governments to impose a higher tax on this kind of food. To what extent do you agree or disagree? So now we have this essay topic. In my course, once you join my course, I'm going to start this new course, inshallah, next week. So if you're going to join my course next week, from the first 2 sessions, I'm going to teach you how to respond to any type of IELTS Task 2 essays or academic essays. So from this essay, you find here, this is the topic of the essay, the الموضوع. that you need to respond, you need to cover in your essay. And here, this is called, to what extent you agree or disagree, this is called instruction words, تعليمات. تعليمات, to tell you what's the type of this essay to be able to respond accurately to this type of essays. So once I say to what extent you agree or disagree, you will know when you join my course that this is called an opinion essay. رأيك إيه؟ هل أنت موافق الموضوع ده ولا مش موافقه؟ Do you agree with this statement or you don't agree with this statement? So what's the statement? I agree or disagree with what? So بيقول لك in some countries, increasing number of people are suffering from health problems, you see, as a result of eating too much fast food. From here, this is called the first sentence of your essay. This is just like a topic sentence, but this one is a general topic sentence. عامة. شيء جملة عامة, general. So do you think that you are going to respond or to cover this part in my essay? I'm not asking you about your opinion about the first statement. I'm not asking about that, yes, we all suffer from health problems due to junk food. No, this is not my question, dears. So what's the question? My question is in the second sentence. You see how it's tricky? How to be able to read? Give yourself time, please. Give yourself time when you read an essay topic. Fully understand that topic in order to be able to respond and cover all parts of the essay in your writing. So this is the second sentence that you need to cover and to answer in your body paragraph 1 and body paragraph 2. Take care of such things in your writing. So when I say it's therefore necessary for governments to what? To impose a higher tax on this kind of food. يا حكومات افرضوا ضريبة على الجunk food. موافق ولا مش موافق؟ بس كده الموضوع. Do you agree or disagree with this statement? Do you agree with governments must impose higher tax on junk food? Yes? ليه؟ موافق. Agree. Support your agreement in body paragraph 1 with the first reason. Body paragraph 2 with the second reason. تيجي زاهية تقول لك no, I don't agree with the statement. Perfect. Okay, state your opinion. I don't agree. Okay, I don't agree. So if Zahia doesn't agree with the statement, support ya Zahia. The first body paragraph, why? Give me one reason. Why do you disagree? And in the second body paragraph, state another reason. Why do you disagree, ya Zahia? So in such types of essays, opinion essays, you need to have one-sided opinion. This is really important because you have a big mistake with opinion essays. Sometimes when I ask my students to state their opinions, they mention the two opposite opinions. You're like, few paragraph, I agree. What the reason? With second paragraph, I also disagree. What the reason? No, wrong. Wrong. A big mistake that you need to avoid in writing an opinion essay. When we have an opinion essay, one-sided opinion. أنا موافق, الله يفتح عليك. Agree, خليك consistent. Agree خلاص. Support body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2. لا أنا disagree. راحتك. Support one body paragraph 1 reason في second body paragraph. طيب. خلود بنتنا الجميلة اللي كانت معايا في الكورس already attended the first 2 sessions and she now knows what's an opinion essay and the layout and the structure of an academic essay, but she has some major problems with vocabulary and grammar. So look at her introductory paragraph responding to this essay. As I said, whenever you want to write a good introduction, you need to state, number 1, paraphrase the essay topic, شايف؟ أدي paraphrase. Number 2, state your opinion because this is an opinion essay. Agree or disagree. Tell me if you agree or disagree. And number 3, you need to state the outline. Tell me, this essay will talk about what? What are the 2 topic sentences that will be mentioned and covered in the 2 body paragraphs? Khulud did this. The structure, her structure is okay. She already covered these 3 parameters or elements in her introduction, but with mistakes in grammar and vocabulary. So let's correct her mistakes. She said, mounting up, consuming processed food in some nations, causing many health issues. This is her first sentence, which is a paraphrase. Taban, in my course, the first thing that I have to emphasize is you must have a dictionary for collocation and a dictionary to make sure that you choose the correct synonym. As I said, when you are asked to provide a paraphrase, you must use lexical resource. Never copy the same words. Try as much as you can to paraphrase the topic of the essay in your own words, or even to provide some good, accurate synonyms for such keywords. فجت خلود بتسمع الكلام فقالت طب why not let me use a dictionary in order to provide synonyms. فجت على كلمة، أنا بس بفهمكم هي كانت بتفكر إزاي. جت على كلمة here increasing number فقامت قايلة mounting up. increasing قالت mounting up. هي mounting up معناها ارتفاع increasing تمام. And she used مع mounting up this noun consuming اللي هو gerund consuming. قالت بقى إيه we have this fast food. Let me provide a good synonym. So she checked a dictionary, I don't know which dictionary, and she provided this synonym processed food. قالت لك كلمة إيه new lexical word, not common, advanced one. So this is perfect in my essay. So let me give her processed food as a synonym for fast food. And then in some countries, she said in some nations, which is a correct synonym, okay? And then we have here causing many health issues. We have a big grammar mistake in this part of the sentence that I'm going to show you. طب قبل ما أدخل على الجرامر mistakes في الجملة دي، خليني أقول لكم أكبر مشاكلكم في الفوكابلري synonyms and collocation من الآخر. خلاص بقى خبرة السنين. The major problems that you all have بصراحة إلا من رحم ربي. Whenever you write an essay and you try as much as you can to show off your lexical resource by providing synonyms, new synonyms. مشكلتك في إن synonyms are not accurate فالمعنى بيختلف تماماً different meaning والتصحبات اللفظية الcollocation في حاجة اسمها تصحبات لفظية اللي هي words that collocate with others تصحبات غلط يعني we never use mounting up with consumption زيادة الاستهلاك ما بتجيش mounting up مع consuming لا تتصاحب لفظيا. Number 2, processed food is not the synonym for fast food because processed food has another meaning. طيب أسماء هنعرف إزاي? How can we know? How can we know? We're still English learners and we don't know all these things. How can we know such things? How can we know this is correct or incorrect? If you want to make sure, if you want to know the accurate definition of a word and to know the close synonym to any word, use Collins Dictionary. Use what? Collins Dictionary. And if you want to make sure about any collocation, if this verb really collocates with this noun, you must use a perfect site, which is called just the word, JTW. Let me try just in this sentence to show you this now. Okay, just for the first sentence, because it will take time. So let me, here we have processed food and we have the word consumption. She said mounting up consuming or the consumption of processed food, and she mentioned processed food as a synonym. So let me stop this share, معلش for this, but I want to show you this. It's really important, guys. So share screen again, and we have here the site. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. hopefully إن الإنترنت يساعدني. تمام. Here we are. تمام. Just the word. طيب. شايفين الموقع ده؟ ده تحفة. ده من الآخر. ده روعة. This is for collocation, guys. Just take a screenshot now. JTW. قالت إيه أختنا خلود حبيبتي بنتي في الكورس؟ قالت لي mounting up consuming نقول consumption. خلينا نشوف consumption أهي عشان كنت بعمل عليها search أهي. تمام؟ and then combinations دوس عليها. click combinations. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم بس يسعفني الإنترنت. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Here we are. You see collocation عاملة ازاي بقى؟ So we have here consumption. So consumption, if it's a noun and we want to use a verb with the noun, here we are. Reduce consumption. Increase consumption. Consumption increase. Consumption rise. Can you see that? Can you see the side, guys? وفاء بتقول I can see. Can you all see? You can see it? Oh, okay. Why? طب خلاص. استنوا. Okay. Stop share. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Okay, again. الله. طب تاني. Can you see it now? Can you see it now? Can you see this just JTW? Here we are. Perfect. تمام. معلش بقى technology guys. أنا بخاف من التكنولوجي جدا على فكرة. ربنا يستر. طيب. So we have here consumption. Do you see consumption? Look at the clusters. Clusters معناها combinations, things that collocate with consumption. So consumption here, it collocates with the verb like cut consumption, reduce consumption, increased, intend for, supply for, use for. So as you can find, زيادة, we have increase or rise. انخفاض, we have reduce, cut, or fall. But we don't have mounting up. This is number one. So if you want to collocate a verb with a noun or an adjective with a noun or an adverb with a verb and you're not sure about the collocation, التصحبات اللفظية, use this perfect site. طيب, no examples? No, they provide you some examples. يعني for example, let's have this consumption increase. Click it. We have the click now. The site will provide you with all the examples of consumption with the verb increase in many sentences from different articles or newspaper articles or sites. You see this perfect one? This is for collocation. You must use this reference or this site whenever you want to make sure that your collocation is perfect and accurate. This is number one. Number two, synonyms. Okay, synonyms. طيب. Let me www Collins. Can you see this one? Collins Dictionary. Can you see Collins Dictionary? Can you see this screen now? Sure, Collins Dictionary. Okay, perfect. Thank you. طيب. أختكم خلود قالت إيه؟ تمام؟ قالت إيه؟ Can you see it ولا لأ؟ غير حنان عشان حاجة تقولي no. Can you see Collins Dictionary? Yes. Okay. طب you have a problem يا حنان حبيبي. You have a problem. طيب بصوا يا جماعة. هي قالت على الجانك فود. What's the synonym of junk food? قالت لك إيه؟ processed food صح؟ processed. طب let me write كده processed. طيب processed. Click. لازم make sure. Is it a correct synonym or not? You will find that the definition like processed was how we pronounce it, British English, adjective, processed. This is the accurate pronunciation. What's the definition? Treated, شايفين, or prepared by a special method, especially in order to preserve it, like processed pork. يعني مادة حافظة بتحفظ الأطعمة. اللي هي المواد الحافظة. How come junk food اللي هي الأكل unhealthy food like burger and pizza, it doesn't mean at all processed food. Another synonym. And this is the major problem that you all have regarding vocabulary. يقول لي ده أنا مستخدم لي كلمات من القاموس، ليه بند واقع؟ أقول له not accurate at all. Not accurate at all. So starting from this session, please, you have to know this. If you want to check your collocation, use JTW site. If you want to check that your synonym is correct, check Collins Dictionary. Collins بيديك بقى thesaurus. شايفين الthesaurus دي اللي هي synonyms. So once you click thesaurus, you will find synonyms and close synonyms to any word that you are looking for. بس كده خلاص. أنا عندي كله. Collins يديني definition و synonyms. JTW يديلي correct collocation. خلصنا دي؟ تمام. Okay, so thank you. And I'm going to use it again. Share the screen and let's resume correcting our lovely essay written by my student Khulud. Right. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. And the last question. Can you see it? Can you see the essay now? حد بس يقول لي اوكي وخلاص معلش انا بسأل كتير to make sure. Thank you so much. To make sure. Thank you. Okay. Lovely. خلاص يبقى mounting up, it should be increasing or the rise of. Processed, it can't be processed. This is a wrong synonym. شفتوا بقى اللي بيقع ايه عشان اعمل لها علامه اهو. wrong synonym. So look, let's بقى focus on her grammar. الجرامر وقع عندها خالص. ليه بقى؟ Mounting up, consuming. So let's rephrase like the rise of or the increase of the consumption of processed food. Incorrect, you should say junk food. This is the correct synonym for fast food, junk food. In some nations, تمام, causing many health issues. Now we have a big problem. This is not a sentence. شايف أيمن كاتب لها إيه؟ One of my examiners, this is a fragment. يا نهار أبيض على الفراجمنتس بقى. ده جرامر بقى. يعني إيه fragment يا أسماء؟ عبارات. برافو عليك يا دودو. عبارات. يعني إيه عبارات؟ We don't have a complete meaningful sentence. What do you mean with a complete meaningful sentence? You must have as a structure a subject and a verb. بس خلاص. أنا عندي two pillars أعمدة. Subject and a verb. What is my subject? The increase of the consumption of junk food. What is my verb? Causing. Causing is a verb? No, sorry. Awfully sorry. This is not a verb. This is a gerund. Causing ing is not a verb. It's a gerund. The ism. So this sentence is a fragment because it doesn't have الله يفتح عليكي. It doesn't have a verb. Why? إسراء بتقول لكم عشان إحنا عندنا big problem that some of us start translating from Arabic into English by using some eyes for translation, some size for translation, and this is terrible. Terrible. عشان تبقوا عارفين terrible. These are things that you must avoid in writing an essay. طيب كان بكل simply كانت ممكن تقول إيه؟ caused. or has caused بس خلاص سببت أو تسبب present perfect many health issues. This is number one. Number two, in my opinion, stating her opinion perfect as an outline. And طبعا delete the comma, of course يا داليا. Caused or like has caused and delete the comma. This comma is wrong. No need for a comma. طبعا we have a big problem with punctuation marks, especially commas. And this is what I cover in my course. امتى استخدم comma and when not use any comma. طيب. The second sentence, thesis, in my opinion. برافو عليكي stating her possession. رأيك إيه بقى يا خلود؟ حاضر. أنا بقول كلامها. Quoting her words. The governments should put a higher tax on this type of food to reduce buying this kind of food. So now she agrees with this statement. أيوة يا حكومة impose حطي لي ضريبة على الجانك فود. تمام؟ جميل. طب فكبارامتر مظبوط هي حطت لي التص عملت لي الثيسز. طب what about language؟ هو ده أهم حاجة في الدنيا. الفوكابولري والجرامر أخباره إيه؟ طيب. In my opinion, she started with a linking phrase. This is good for her cohesion and coherence. فاكرين الترابط؟ أهي ربطت البارافريز برأيها. برافو. By stating in my opinion, this is called an introductory linking phrase with a comma. هرد عليك يا داليا كمان شوية. The governments should هنا a big mistake with articles. احنا كشعب عربي we have a problem with articles. الادوات اللي هم او ان وذا. ليه؟ because in Arabic ما عنديش حاجه اسمها articles. انا عندي النكره والمعرفه علشان انا واحده ايه قاريه في النحو. ف I know ان المعرفه I just add ال. هيقول لك بقى ايه المواطن المصري الجميل ده يقوم عامل لك ايه translate. الحكومات the governments. In English there is a rule. When you talk about something in general and you have a singular countable noun, pluralize the noun with zero article. ده كده basic rules for articles. once بعمم اجمع الاسم ما دام هو countable طبعا احط له الاس plural لو هو countable and no article at all. تتحفظ من النهارده. طبعا I cover articles in my course لانها مشكله عميقه في الجرامر بصراحه. So in my opinion governments, so that هنا should be removed, should put a higher tax. Another wrong collocation. higher tax. هي شافت في الجمله هي عارفه ان اسماء قالت لهم don't copy the keywords. حاضر. فشايفه ان كلمه هنا tax مكتوب معاها impose a higher tax. So she wants to change impose. She wants to change it. فقالت put. If you check now JTW خلاص بقى do it at home and you find and just write the noun tax, you will find the verbs that collocate with tax. You will never find put. You will find impose, levy, L-E-V-Y, charge, C-H-A-R-G-E, but you will never find put. So we have another wrong collocation. شايفين الفوكابلري بيوقعنا في ايه يا جماعه؟ احنا كعرب في الانجليش حاجتين، تصحبات لفظيه collocation. بنعمل من عربي يضع او البوت. متاكد ان بوت تمشي مع تاكس؟ ان شاء الله ماشيه. لا غلط. نمبر 2 المرادفات synonyms not accurate. مشكله رهيبه معانا في الايه؟ في الفوكابلري بالذات. طيب so governments should charge خليني اغير لها a higher tax on this type of food to reduce buying, and then we have a big problem which is redundancy. This is in Arabic. العربي يحب انك تمط في الكلام وتعبر، لكن in English don't repeat the same words in one sentence. This is called redundancy. اللي هو just use instead the pronoun it. دي بقى قصة البروناونز الضمائر رائعة. مش هم very tiny or just like tiny words, but they have major functions. Instead of repeating the same noun, don't repeat them, use instead pronouns. But we have a big problem with using pronouns. Sometimes we don't use pronouns accurately. وده cover طبعا in my course. مشكلة البروناونز أصلا قوية جدا عندنا الضمائر. So this type of food to reduce buying it. خلاص حط it. She started her sentence with and. خطيرة, a big problem in English in academic writing. In academic writing, never start a sentence with and. دي ممكن تبقى في story, في كلام كده informal email with your friend. ممكن. But in academic writing, never do this. So, and to use this money to improve the health sector. So, never start with and or but. برافو عليك يا داليا. هنا and هي بادئه جمله جديده بand. طب and ايه؟ to use this money. This is what? A fragment. يا نهار ابيض على الفراجمنتس بتاعتك. مشكلتي الكبيره في الجرامر الفراجمنتس في الرايتنج. مشكله رهيبه وبتوقع سكور الجرامر. بدات to use infinitive. What is my subject حبيب قلبي؟ فين الفاعل؟ I need a subject and a verb. I have infinitive here. Where is my subject? We don't have a subject. So what should we do? Link the fragment with the main sentence by just adding a comma and. بس أحط هنا comma and وأكمل. بس كذا عمر ما قالت comma and. Another problem is use money. She has a problem with collocation. استخدم الفلوس. بنستخدم الفلوس ده العربي بستخدمها في كذا. So we never collocate the verb use with money. ممكن أقول spend money on. خد بالك ها. Or expend يصرف money on. Do you see? But we never say use money. So spend money on improving. أيوة كده أصرف على. the health sector. So another problem, health sector عملته عربي القطاع الصحي. شوف انا بقول لك ازاي بتعمل ايه، كلنا كده مشكلتنا احنا كلنا، مش هي بس، كلنا مستوى على فكره intermediate B1 مش وحش، مش واحده beginner، لا intermediate بنت كويسه في اللغه، متوسطه في المستوى متوسط اللي هو معظمنا احنا فيه كده دلوقتي، احنا معظمنا في المتوسط معظمنا. ف health sector. طيب ادخلوا كده على دلوقتي JTW اكتب health وشوفها كده collocating مع sector، مش حاجه اسمها قطاع sector مع health. ما اسمه ايه؟ ممكن اقول لك مثلا health care service، تلاقي كده health care service، الخدمات الصحيه، but we never say sectors with health. So this is the here introduction. We have many problems with grammar, vocabulary. الجرامر عندها موقعها في الفراجمنتس، والفوكابلري مشكله الايه؟ السينونيمز، واكبر مشاكلها الكولوكيشن. تمام؟ طيب بس كاوتلاين انا عندي بارافريز، بس بور بارافريز زي ما داليا بتقول، او مين حد قال لي very short one. This is not a good paraphrase للاسف، فهي اللغه مش سعفاها، مش عندها الجود كوماند اوف فوكابلري، باين عليها الفوكابلري واقع شويه، ضعيف، بور شويه. تمام؟ لكن عندي هير اوبينيون وعندي الاوتلاين. يعني الاوتلاين بتقول لك ان هي she's going to discuss these two reasons. Number one، الحكومه المفروض تفرض ضريبه، ليه؟ عشان نقلل ان الناس تشتري الجانك فود، واثنين نستخدم الفلوس دي كلها ونحطها في ايه؟ تنميه القطاع الصحي. ادي two reasons. برافو، كاوتلاين مظبوط. In the coming two body paragraphs, she is going in her first body paragraph to paraphrase the first, or to talk about the first point اللي هو reducing buying this kind of food. وتيجي في second body paragraph she will talk about how we spend money on improving the health service care to support her opinion اللي هي she agrees with imposing taxes on junk food. ماشي؟ طيب هنا نقرا مع بعض بسرعه البادي باراجراف 1. البادي باراجراف 1 حاجتين، topic sentence فيها one idea، illustration، example. نشوف مع بعض. نقرا الاول كله. قالت لك ايه بقى؟ When the governments impose a tax on fast food, that means the consumption of these products would reduce, especially for people who have low income. Illustration بتشرح لك الفكرة. This will help these people to follow a healthy diet once they consider that the cost of the fruit and vegetable will be less. In other words, تشرح تاني، برافو عليها. These type of folks who has more health problems depends on many studies because they are less education. الجملة دي كلها مش فاهماها. ليه؟ structure ملخبط، vocabulary مش مفهوم. For instance, for example, she's trying to provide a good example. There is a study, دراسة بتقول, where is published recently, talks about the size of the health problems among people who are low education. خد بالك من الأخطاء اللحوية. Low education in America. They found around 65% of these issues between them. As an outline, البنت مذاكرة معايا من session 1 what should be included in each paragraph. دي بنت مجتهدة. من session 1 حطت لي one topic sentence بتشرحها بexample. فهي مجتهدة. However, هي داخلة الكورس ليه؟ لمستوى intermediate. She has problems with vocabulary and grammar اللي هو شغل طول ال8 أسابيع أنا والتيم. اشتغل على ده بقى. نشوف الأخطاء. When the governments, حبيب قلبي, you are talking about governments in general, no articles, so should be removed. She started her sentence with when. And when is a subordinate conjunction. Perfect. This is a complex sentence. So in my course, you will know the variety of complex sentences, either by using subordinate conjunctions or even relative pronouns or noun clauses to make variety of complex sentences. بدأت بwhen, واحدة من subordinate time conjunctions. طبعا هنتعلم في الكورس that if you start a complex sentence with a dependent clause فيها subject verb incomplete meaning بسبب وجود subordinate conjunction, you must put a comma to separate the dependent الغلبانة clause from the main clause. طب يا ترى هي حطت الكوما؟ لا، لأنها كانت لسه ما أخدتش معايا variety of complex sentences فمش عارفة. انا بعرفك بالظبط السيكونس بتاع خلود ماشي ازاي. ده كان نمبر 1. فقالت لك ايه؟ when governments impose a tax on fast food. تمام؟ طبعا عامله هنا تاني fast food مفيش junk حتى، او unhealthy food مثلا مفيش synonyms. same word. You must put a comma here. A missing comma guys. الله يفتح عليك، لازم انت لما تبدا معايا ب dependent clause حط لي comma. When governments impose a tax on fast food, comma. يلا بقى المين clause هيحصل ايه؟ That means هيعني the consumption of these products would reduce. تمام reduce تمام. consumption بتاخد الverb reduce or decrease. تمام مفيش مشكلة اتنين صح. especially for people who have low income. خصوصا للناس اللي بتعاني من دخل ضعيف. تمام. This will help these people to follow a healthy diet. حلو الكلام مفيش مشكلة. Once they consider that the cost of a fruit and vegetable, once when you talk about something in general in English and they are countable nouns, الله يسعدكم pluralize. الخضروات والفاكهة. This is general. How you generalize your words in English. So fruits and vegetables will be less. In other words, these عندي مشكلة بقى تانية بشوفها بقى. أنا بشوف مشاكل كمان في الجرامر. أول حاجة اليوس اوف كوما. نمبر 2 الفرايتي، مش عارف يعمل الفرايتي في الكومبلكس والكومباوند خالص، مش عارف يعملها ازاي، لينك ازاي مش عارف. 3 بقى subject verb agreement، وربنا يعيننا عليها بقى، اللي هو ايه؟ الفاعل مع الفعل لازم يبقى فيه agreement. أنا عندي هنا demonstrative pronoun these، ده اسمها ضمير إشارة these plural so type should be pluralized. ما ينفعش اقول these type، ما ينفعش خالص، لا these types agreements plural. So these types of folks. جت بقى خدت قالت لك ايه؟ مش هقول people بقى، مكتوب عندي people في السؤال، انا عايزه اوري اسماء والتيم ان انا واحده عندي ليكسيكال ريسورس. فالبنت برافو عليكي يا داليا ما شاء الله عليكي، فتحت الديكشنري وقالت لك ايه؟ synonyms. اول كده synonyms for people. ايه ده؟ folk. الله a new word. let me write folk. قامت داليا ردت قالت لك ايه؟ informal. the problem of style. One of the major problems when it comes to vocabulary. When you write an academic essay, you must include formal vocabulary and formal structures. خدوا بالكم. So if you check now Collins Dictionary, write folks, L silent, you'll find that it's written informal. So what should be used instead? You can use individuals, you can use citizens, you can use men and women, you can use mankind, humans, but never say folks. This is informal. شفت بقى مشكلة ستايل؟ طيب. So these types of people or individuals who has a subject verb agreement. Folks has have. برافو عليكي يا داليا. Subject plural, verb must be plural. So who have more بقى more دي عامله لنا عقده، تلاقي كل حاجه more او persons. ماشي يا روان شغال برضو حبيب قلبي. more health problems. We don't use more when as a quantifier. more بتيجي when we compare، بتيجي مع comparisons. you compare something with another thing. more intelligent than مع adjective صح؟ لكن when you won't use it as a quantifier العديد من، we say a lot of. لا بلاش a lot of, say many. For example, many health problems. Okay, we never say more health problems. No, many health problems. Depends on. طبعا depend عندها مشكلة رهيبة في subject verb agreement. Problems plural, so depend without s في present tense. Depend on many studies. طبعا many studies because they are less education. This is they. يعني ايه they؟ مين هم they؟ مين هم they؟ a lot of يا روان حبيبي without s. مين هم they؟ I don't know. ويعني ايه less education؟ You mean those who lack education? Those who suffer from poor education؟ مش اسمها they are less مش اسمها كده خاص في English. This is not correct. As an expression, this is not correct. For instance, there is a study where a wrong relative pronoun. Where I use it as a relative pronoun بتعمل لي complex حلوة جدا. هي استخدمت دلوقتي complex تاني باستخدام relative pronouns. بس حبيبي study never use معها where because we use where to refer to a place. صح؟ A shop where, the club where, a school where. لكن study which التي هي دي التي is published. ازاي is published passive voice present tense مع recently. recently يعني من قريب، يعني خلص، يعني تم إصدارها. البحث ده أصدر. how come تحط لي في البريزنت؟ So we have a problem with tenses. دي خطيرة مع الطلبة عندي. التنسز مش عارفين يجيبوا. برافو عليك يا داليا. The best one with recently, the accurate one has been published. Which has been published. Passive voice, present perfect tense, because I'm talking about something that has just recently happened. لسه من قريب بستخدم present perfect tense. In my course بلعب على كل variety of tenses to know the difference in meaning خد بالك between each tense. So where has been published recently. طبعا مش عارفه ليه حاطه الكوما، هي عندها مشكله مع الكوما. So no comma here. Never use a comma to separate a noun from its verb. ما فيش حاجه اسمها بين الفاعل وفعله كوما. ما فيش حاجه اسمها كده. So no comma removed. طيب study talks. This is a wrong collocation. اللي هو ايه؟ والدراسه تتحدث عن كذا. لا, we don't do this in English. If you use now JTW, just write study. You will find the verbs that collocate with study is not. هرد عليك يا أميرة حبيبة قلبي. Is not talks. ممكن نقول مثلا manifest. ممكن نقول shows. ممكن نقول مثلا reveals. أظهرت. But we never say talks. تمام? With studies. So we can say just reveals. If I say, I mean, like if I say was published, it's not incorrect, but the perfect, accurate tense يا أميرة هي present perfect عشان عندي كلمة recently. recently دايما لما بستخدمها كlanguage كsignal words بتستخدم مع ال present perfect tenses اللي هو شيء لسه من قريب يا أميرة، من قريب. دايما يلعب ال present perfect لعبته في الوقت في التوقيت ده، وده بتعرفيه في الكورس عندي بعد كده. طيب so reveals أو shows the size of the health problems أو health problems among people who are low education. يعني who are low education. طبعا برضو who lack، ممكن نقول who lack education, who suffer from poor education. دي مشكلة يعني. We found around 65% between them. This is a wrong preposition. بين مجموعة، لما يكون عندي group of and I want to use بين we use among a group. لكن اثنين يبقى between both اثنين among a group. The second body paragraph on the other hand the governments هتبدأ تقول لك بقى ايه، خدوا الفلوس دي يا حكومة واصرفوها على القطاع الصحي. يلا بقى هنا she used a good perfect. لا استنوا لا used ايه، استنوا. She has a big problem with this linking phrase. She started her second body paragraph with on the other hand. This is totally wrong. ليه؟ She is not giving me an opposite opinion. She is trying to give me a second reason to support her argument. How you start your second reason with ولكن ازاي؟ So this is a wrong linking phrase because we use it when we contrast ideas. الرأي ورأي الآخر. لكن أنا بقول لك رأيي، بديكي two reasons supporting my argument. كنت المفروض هنا secondly or the second reason is. This is the first reason. This is the second reason. In addition, برافو عليكي يا أميرة. Moreover, furthermore. So this is a wrong linking phrase. يوقعني في cohesion و coherence. يخلي إيه ده؟ أدي الفكرة الأولى. فين بقى الثانية؟ إيه ده؟ الثانية ضد الأولى؟ ليه؟ شوف بقى coherence و cohesion. هوب drop يقع. أنت مش حاسس. لخبطتني كريدر. I'm confused. Additionally, برافو عليكي. Don't use also يا روان. الستايل بتاعها informal. Use additionally زي ما إسلام بيقول لك or in addition or moreover or furthermore حبيبي. أو just the second reason is كمان لو عايزة تقولي. تمام؟ بلاش also دي ضعيفة قوي في الacademic writing. So additionally, governments can use this money. طبعا قلنا spend مش use or expend this money to improve the health field. We don't say field. برضو عملت ايه المجال القطاع الصحي قالت لك field بقى المرة دي. لا برضو we say healthcare service in their countries وحتى كوما ملهاش اي لازمة. separating ما اعرفش ايه يعني ايه. no need هنا. by building remove الكوما. by using new hospitals and buying cutting edge technological machines. here she used a good less common vocabulary. cutting edge دي معناها modern، معناها contemporary، المعاصرة الحديثة. perfect. But we don't collocate cutting edge مع machines. يعني مش بتيجي كده. بنقول بقى ايه cutting edge technology. بس كده التكنولوجيا الحديثة بس كده. تمام؟ just say كده يا داليا. cutting edge technology. بس. So cutting edge technology which طبعا هنا عملت machines بقت help ماشي to enhancement to must be followed by verb infinitive. This is a noun. So to enhance مش to enhance بالظبط كده the quality of life. In addition, she's trying to illustrate her point of view again. Bravo. The decision makers تمام. This is a good collocation. تصحب لفظي لطيف منها. برافو. Decision makers صناع القرار. حلو قوي. Could support the medical treatment to researchers. This is a common problem guys. اللي هو ايه بحث وابحاث زي العربي. So a research and researchers incorrect. Research is uncountable noun. تحفظ من النهارده. Research is a uncountable noun. So a research, sorry ما فيش just research. We never say if you want بقى تقول بحث ممكن تقول a research study. ماشي. A research study and research studies. دراسات بحثية. لكن research is uncountable so without s. So research to improve the folks طبعا غلط informal lives and having مشكلة موجودة في writing parallelism. In my course I address all the sentence problems زي parallelism, choppy sentences, sentence fragments, comma splices, run-on sentences. دي مشاكل فظيعة في writing بنعملها واحنا مش فاهمين اصلا احنا هو ايه ده اصلا. So هنا she has a problem with parallelism اللي هو يعني برضو ببساطة when I use and واحدة من cognitive conjunctions للإضافة بضيف شيء على شيء. You have to make them parallel. You have to use the same grammar unit, the same grammar structure. نفس البنية النحوية. So هنا and بتعطف الفعل improve infinitive على الفعل have. ما ينفعش تقولي to improve and having. دي مشكلة. تلاقي الجملة عملت كده حولت. راحت في سكة ثانية. So once I use and to add two verbs together or two nouns together or two adjectives or two phrases or even two clauses, they should be parallel. So to improve and have. برافو يا أمير. So we have a problem with parallelism. Have a long life pans. مش حاجة اسمها pans. في حاجة اسمها spans. مش حاجة اسمها long life pans. pans دي طاسة. لا ممكن تقول spans or expectancy اللي هو طول العمر in good health conditions. For example, تدي supporting relevant example in German. مشكلة كبيرة قوي in German. In Germany, German is an adjective. Almania, in Germany, okay, there is a high tax on the processed food. طبعا wrong collocation. Sorry, wrong synonym. To that use. To that use. That is used to على طول. يعني هنا دي برضه تركيبة to that used to, which is used to كذا. or used to كذا فاهميني used to fund على طول and support health research. This would help to find new treatments for chronic diseases. This is a good collocation. الأمراض المزمنة برافو. chronic diseases a good collocation which the researcher دي بقى الجملة دي كلها كده مالهاش معنى which the researcher think that chunk يمكن junk. This is spelling mistake يعني غلط إملائي. junk food is the first caused to these illnesses. This is meaningless. We have a big problem with the words written in this sentence. دي غلط كده على بعض. يمكن قصدها junk food which is the main cause of. For example طبعا when you start your sentence with an introductory cohesive tie رابط يعني we use this comma. In German you should say in Germany we should put بقى هنا a comma. If you say in Germany there should be a comma added because we have like here بيسموها parenthetical words يعني كلمة اعتراضية ف we put them between two commas. تمام. In conclusion بص الكونكلوجن بتاعتها very short خالص و copying an introduction. هنا خطأ شنيع بقى. جت في conclusion copying الانترودكشن. مفيش أي قدرة على giving تنوع في الفوكابولري. So in conclusion putting تاني نفس الكلام a higher tax on processed food would help to reduce the consumption of this kind of food. تاني بتعيد and use this money to develop health sector in any country. Copying, mirroring what was written in the introduction in her conclusion. This is the end of her essay. Look at the examiner's comments after correcting her mistakes. والمارجن طبعا كله شايفين المارجن اهو كله في التصحيح كله. As you can see task response الفورمات is appropriate. الستراكشر شكله كويس مظبوط. Introduction, body paragraphs, conclusion, skipping a line between paragraphs. Major parts of the task, question addressed. يعني حاول تغطي كل الأسئلة في التوبيك of essay. Very short introduction. كده واحدة سألتني هي introduction كده where is the paraphrase? Very short. شايفين؟ لا مش مظبوط. أنا قليل جدا. Conclusion, just a copy of the introductory paragraph. Copying. واو. جابت range 4 ل 5 كمان في الجزء ده. الكوهيجن والكوهيرنس الايدياز ار ارينج، هي بتقدر تعمل arrangement، هي بتقدر تديك illustration واكزامبل كويس يعد معقول في المستوى ده، بس الكوهيسيف devices are not used effectively. لكن on the other hand وقعتها دي معنى تاني خالص. connectors are not sufficient، مش بديها connectors بشكل اكتر من كده، لا ضعيف شويه قليل شويه. والايدياز are a bit developed. تمام، ranging برضه from 4 to 5. lexical resource limited range of vocabulary، طبعا باينه limited، مش عارفه. الانترودكشن والكونكلوجن بتعرفني مستواكي في المفردات، خلاص بعرف طق، مش عارف، مخنوق، مش عارف انطلق، واقف، خلاص اعرف ان انت عندك limited range. spelling mistakes، الword choice mistakes عندها اللي هي الكولوكيشن ايرورز كتيره. تمام. طيب برضه ranging from 4 to 5. الجراماتيكال رينج she tries to use complex sentences، فاكرين اللي في الجمله فيها when واللي فيها relative pronouns but they are not accurate، بتقع في punctuation بقى، بتقع في مشاكل. في variety of tenses بس they are not correct، فاكرين البريزنت عملته بدل present perfect عملوا present simple، فاهميني؟ مشكله في variety of tenses and many grammar errors ranging 4 to 5. تمام. طيب range 4.55 out of 9، ده البند الطبيعي بتاع الايلتس عامه تاسك 2، level بتاعها B1. So this is the end of the first part of this session. Look guys, she is an intermediate student. This was her first essay in my course. She was able to structure her essay after attending my first 2 sessions, but she has many problems with grammar and vocabulary. And I told you when it comes to vocabulary, use these 2 things. Collins Dictionary for providing you correct synonyms and to be able to know that this is the correct definition of the word that you will use in your sentence, and make sure that the collocation is correct. And for grammar, we have many mistakes. Now you are going to ask me an important question. The question is that you are going to ask me now is, let me have my PowerPoint again. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So here we are. Okay, can you see it now? Can you see the screen? Okay, so what's the question? So why isn't my English improving? We have been learning English for many years at schools, at universities, but still we can't improve it. We can't use the English language accurately, effectively, and flexibly in writing or speaking. Why? Because number 1, we suffer from poor vocabulary because we don't read and listen. Especially reading. Don't like reading at all. We suffer from bad grammar because we have been learning grammar for many years, but as like some exercises that we have to, some exercises that you have to just choose the correct answer because I have an exam and I have to memorize the rule in order to be able to get a high score in my exam. That's it. Do you know the meaning of this? No. Do you know when do we use the structure? No. Do you understand the variety of tenses? No. Do you know how to use variety of sentences accurately? No. I don't know. I can just have an exercise and choose the correct answer to memorize the rule. That's it. What about ideas? No, I don't have ideas about different topics. Why? Because we don't like reading. So I don't have ideas. So that's why we can't start a dialogue with someone and expand it for many minutes. We can't. When you ask me to write an essay about a topic, I'm stuck. Oh my God, I can't have enough reasons to support my argument. عامل ايه يا ربي? Because we don't read. مش ثقافة. وأسوأ مشكلة. I want to start learning English, but I get bored easily. Low, I start for the first 2-3 days to listen and read, and then I'm bored. I'm not motivated at all. I don't want to do this it's really boring. I will never be improved. خلاص. لو negative vibes بقى طول الوقت. No consistency. خلاص. No practice. خلاص. I'm not going to practice any more English. And even if I want to practice, if I want to speak, if I want to write, I can find someone to assess me. I need someone to assess me, to tell me my mistakes, how to solve such mistakes. What should I do to avoid these mistakes later? So these are the real problems why our English language is not improving. So in my course, I cover all these problems. We consider advanced grammar and vocabulary as I call it as a comprehensive course. الكورس الشامل. الكورس الشامل for all the skills. نلعب على speaking writing مشاكل الجراماتيكال رينج كلها، ندي vocabulary، بنعمل daily listening and reading. ما هي دي اللغة. It's like a camp. معسكر for 8 weeks. So in my course, if you want to improve your English language proficiency, in my course that lasts for 2 months, 8 weeks, we work on improving your English language proficiency for which level? For which level يا وفاء؟ برد على الكلام ده في الآخر. For intermediate level candidates. ده الحبيب بقى، ده اللي يجي لي، ده المتوسط. تعالى بقى. هشتغل معاك على ال 2 productive skills, your speaking and writing في ال 8 weeks. هنشتغل على 2 receptive skills, listening و reading في ال 8 weeks. وهنشتغل على كل مشاكل الجراماتيكال range and accuracy, the real grammar mistakes الحقيقية. أنا هشرح هيبقى ماشي إزاي. هشرح لك إزاي دلوقتي. The real grammar mistakes for writing and speaking والlexical resource. نشتغل على vocabulary طول الكورس. إزاي بقى؟ مايكرو بيقول لي how come you can cover all these things in 8 sessions. سؤال مهم جدا. هرد عليه. هقول لك إزاي. بص التقسيم. When I start with productive skills, writing and speaking. تشتغل على writing and speaking إزاي؟ سؤال مهم. نبدأ بالwriting. I'll teach you how, first of all, in the first session يا مايكرو, if you attend my course, خلاص you are one of my students. هتيجي عند academic writing, the first 2 sessions هعلمك حاجتين. بص how many hours? 4 hours. كاتبه لك حتى duration 4 hours. I'll teach you the structure of an academic essay اللي هو يساوي IELTS task 2 essay. هو ده أهم حاجة لأن هو ده اللي جاي من كامبريدج. هو ده العنصر المهم في العالم. كامبريدج الأساس، ده المصدر. How to analyze an essay topic, how to plan before you write. دي مهمة جدا. Planning bad structure, planning the vocabulary, planning the ideas. How to write good introductions, fully developed supporting paragraphs, effective conclusion. And in the second session, I'll teach you حاجة اسمها coherence and cohesion, how to link your ideas and sentences together by using correct and variety of linking words and phrases. This is for the first 2 sessions. يبقى أنا كده خلصت الجزء الخاص بالميكانيزم بتاع الرايتنج. أدخل بقى في إيه؟ ادخل في ايه في بعد كده في الجرامر اللي هنشوفه كمان شويه. طيب انت when you teach us how to write the structure of an essay، ماشي حلو الكلام. احنا بقى هنعمل ايه مايكرو؟ انا بقى اكتب ايه؟ انا عايز اكتب، عايز احل. You are going to submit throughout the course 8 academic essays. Each week you submit 1 essay. وكل essay يبقى مختلف، يعني واحده تبقى opinion، واحده تبقى مثلا discussion، واحده تبقى advantage disadvantage essay، واحده تبقى مثلا problem solution essay. كل الانواع of the academic essays. You'll submit 1 essay every week and then you will receive the correction of your essay at the end of the week, evaluated, assessed with an overall band, correcting all your grammar and vocabulary mistakes with a table, assessing your task response, your vocabulary, grammar, cohesion and coherence. Throughout the 8 weeks, you submit 8 academic essays. This is number 1. إيه كمان في writing أنا كمايكرو غيري هكتب، عايز أكتب ويتعمل لي assessment. Number 2, we are going to create a WhatsApp group for discussion. طبعا WhatsApp group بيبقى فيه maximum of participants، ما بقاش كتير، مش ردت عليا participants قد إيه، لا بدي بيبقى few participants في كل WhatsApp group. ليه؟ عشان يبقى دايما في each مثلا like twice per week we provide you with 2 written topic that you need to write about on the WhatsApp group for discussion. And then we have one of my assistants, she's an English instructor, she is going to assess your writing, okay, on the WhatsApp group. So you will see her correction and others, your colleagues' correction, you'll see them as well on the WhatsApp group for discussion. Okay, good. Next, speaking. أخباره إيه؟ تعملي معانا في speaking. I'm going to give you a very good session about pronunciation. Pronunciation. يعني ايه pronunciation? يعني when I assess your pronunciation, how you utter individual sounds. What's word stress? What sentence stress? كلام ده مهم جدا في speaking. What do I mean with connecting sounds together? What do I mean with intonation? So this is like a session teaching you these higher level pronunciation features in your speaking. Then you will receive 2 recorded sessions about how to answer a speaking exam, which is speaking exam over the phone, how to answer them correctly, the 3 parts. Okay, you will receive like 2 recorded sessions about speaking exams, how you can answer them correctly for IELTS, and you are going to receive a live session from me regarding pronunciation. جميل. طيب, these sessions. What about me practicing speaking? You are going to practice speaking during the 8 weeks, yeah, micro and everyone. Number 1, you're going to conduct 5 speaking exams over the phone from an examiner. And then you will receive her assessment via WhatsApp. She's going to evaluate your exams, assessing your language, your vocabulary, your pronunciation, grammar, your fluency, okay, in each speaking exam. Number 2, you are going to submit every week a voice note, like a topic that you will talk about for 2 minutes, recording your voice. Send this in private to one of my speaking examiners in order to receive the correction and evaluation of your voice note sent to her every week. Number 3, on the same WhatsApp group for discussion that you have like few participants, you are going to receive oral topics. Like every week you receive 2 oral topics. So I will ask you to talk about something for 1 minute, record your voice on the WhatsApp group with your colleagues, and then you receive the correction of your voice notes via by one of my speaking instructors. Then this is for writing and speaking. عشان اللي بيسألني ازاي. Do you see? شغالين كل يوم. It's every day. You have daily tasks. عشان كده هي شغال 8 weeks. Then what about receptive skills? We call it guided listening and reading. يعني guiding. Every day in the morning. تقول بسم الله صباح الخير. You will find an audio about a specific topic. I have in my course a system that every week it's dedicated to one theme, one topic. For example, first week is about health. صحة. صحة يبقى كل الأسبوع عن الصحة. For example, so the listening audio will be about health throughout the whole weeks اللي هم 5 days. بيبقى في 2 days off. 5 days about health. audio scripts about health. We're going to give you every day في الويك ده مثلا about the health week, reading articles with a summary about health. So you read and listen and get more vocabulary about health. When we have the oral and discussion, oral discussion or written discussion on the WhatsApp group, it will be about the theme of that or the topic of the week. So if it's about health, all the discussion topics will be about health. So we'll try to reuse the words that you got from the listening or from reading and try to use them again in your production, in the writing or speaking. When you receive the speaking exams or when you send voice notes about the same theme or the same topic of the week. This is the best way of reusing vocabulary, recycling your vocabulary. Okay? Lovely. Then انتي قلتي يا اسماء that you will teach us like the first 2 sessions about the structure of academic essays and how to write a correct essay. And what about the rest of your sessions? هو بقى اللي هو أصل موضوعي that you won't find in any course بصراحة اللي هو covering grammatical range and accuracy. Grammatical range and accuracy. مشاكل الريل grammar mistakes يا جماعة. مش شوية كتاب grammar وبشرح. Your real grammar mistakes from your essays and your speaking and your writing حقيقية based on parameters from Cambridge. In my sessions بيبقى حوالي 26 hours طبعا divided into many sessions. We have the problem of that will be covered. كل ده هتلاقي عندك شغل grammatical range, subject verb agreement, use of pronouns, possessive s طبعا مننا كتير في الرايتنج. articles مشكلتها on the punctuation marks especially comma والسيميكولن واقعين فيها. plural nouns مشاكلنا مع plural nouns بتوقعنا في مشاكل subject verb agreement. prepositions مشاكل كبيره جدا. حروف الجر. adjectives and adverbs how to use them accurately in our sentences. verbs plus ing and infinitives. grammatical range التنوعات في بنية جملك. for example variety of tenses اعرف انواعهم امتى present perfect وامتى present simple وامتى present وامتى future perfect وامتى future perfect continuous. What we have like many tenses in English. How to use them accurately. Conditional structures, how to use them accurately, because this is one of the variety of complex sentence. How to use passive voice, how to use inversion. Inversion انت يبقى عندك بدل ما يبقى عندك sequence correct sequence بالsubject وverb تعمل inverted sentence. Start with the verb and then a subject. When do we use this? This is a part of grammatical range. تنوع في بنية جملي بتعلي دايما سكور الجرامر في الرايتنج عندي. I will address all types of sentences in my sessions. How to structure a simple, compound, complex sentence and compound, complex sentences. How to avoid sentence problems زي الباراليزم والsentence fragments, choppy sentences زي المقطعة والrun-on sentences والcomma splices مشاكل الكوما ومشاكل لضم جمل كبيرة مع بعض without using appropriate punctuation marks. عندنا مشكلة جامدة جدا فيها. اوكي؟ طيب انت هتشرحي لنا grammar في السيشنز. How can we practice this? How can we practice grammar? Number one, I provide you every week online grammar quizzes about what covered in each session to make sure that you understand the rule and you can apply and use it accurately. Number two, grammar is already assessed in your writing and speaking. طبعا ده parameter قوي جدا. لازم to assess your grammar in your speaking and writing. Number three, I will provide you with my material. Look at the material that I'm going to cover in my course for 8 weeks. You see how many things about grammatical range and accuracy. So whenever we have a session, this is divided into 8 modules, like 8 chapters. The first 2 modules about academic writing, and starting module 0 and 1 for writing, and then module 2 to 5 for grammatical range and accuracy, and module 6 and 7 for vocabulary and pronunciation. So before each session, I'll give you like a soft copy, a PDF of each module that will be used and explained in my online session via Zoom. So كل الطلبة اللهم لك الحمد يقول لك very rich course. وشوف بقى ريفيوز على الصفحة عندي. مش هتكلم بصراحة. ريفيوز from each round. ويقول لك ما كنتش مصدق مش متخيل بصراحة. تخيل بقى ايه جرامر بسيط كده في الكلام. لا شغل very rich. الكورس عندي very rich. content قوي جدا. ناس كتيرة بتاخده بتطور لغتها او تخش بي ايلتس اكزام بصراحة. يعني في كتير يقول لك اخد بي ايلتس مش محتاج بقى اخد تاني كورسات ايلتس. انت اشتغلتي على اللغة كلها في إطار أكاديمي احترافي للآيلتس. إما بطور نفسي to improve my English language proficiency for my job. أنا مثلا a mother I want to improve my English for my kids. أو أنا واحد عايز أخد امتحان زي الآيلتس، عايز أخد امتحان زي توفل، عايز أخد أي امتحان عشان أسافر. أنا عايز language بس حد يحطني on track. language صح، مش general English courses في سناتر. لا ده متصمم بيسموه customized course. أنا مصمماه ومغلفاه لمصلحتك، سواء المصلحه الاكاديميه، مصلحه امتحان او مصلحتك اللغويه. ده شغلي، عشان كده بسميها ايه؟ كورس الام، الكورس الشامل بصراحه. طيب الفوكابلري I will give you like a session telling you about certain important things about vocabulary. For example, what's time? يعني to know the difference between formal and informal English language. This is important for your writing and speaking. Okay? How to use idioms. مهمة جدا in speaking, not writing. So instead of saying I'm happy, you can say I'm over the moon, I'm on cloud 9. This is what I mean with idioms. How to use بقى شايفين appropriate collocations. We have a big problem with تصحبات لفظية collocations خطيرة. Speaking or writing طبعا. Synonyms يعني ايه مرادفات. Phrasal verbs خطيرة used in speaking. اللي هي ايه؟ بحترم حد. I look يعني to look up to someone for example. تمام؟ To look up to someone. بتفسح to hang out. phrasal verb اللي هو verbs plus prepositions. Okay? طيب الفوكابلري هتدينا session. طب what about the whole course? Every day you will receive 2 new words about one theme. So for example, the first week is about health. So every day you will find 2 new words about health. A word with its meaning, with an example, with my pronunciation. Then we'll provide you with many online vocabulary quizzes, so you can use them, you can acquire new vocabulary. Also, vocabulary is assessed in your writing and speaking exams to know your mistakes regarding vocabulary. When I provide you with listening and reading every day, you get new vocabulary from listening and reading. Also, in my course, I provide you with perfect files about good vocabulary, like 100 English collocation file. This is a good one for collocations. Ideas for essay topics. You have many ideas with good vocabulary. I'm going to provide you with IELTS vocabulary booster booklet, or Makar IELTS speaking. This is really a good resource for improving your vocabulary. So quickly, what's this course? Just some questions about the course. How many weeks? 8 weeks. When you are going to start? Next week on Friday. The first session will be on Friday next week. How many weeks? 8. How many hours of teaching only from أسماء؟ بص أنا بس بدرس 35 hours via Zoom. How many sessions? 8. إمتى بتقابل؟ Fridays زي النهارده. بس from 1 p.m. to 4:20, 3 hours maximum teaching with 20 minutes بيبقى في النص break. بيبقى duration like 3 hours and 20 minutes, 20 minutes break, and 3 hours teaching grammar or writing. Fridays sessions are recorded now, just live via Zoom, so you must be free on Fridays only for me to attend my session. Then I provide you some extra sessions on Tuesdays. محتاجاها. And because I have, mashallah, a rich content that I need to cover. So on Tuesdays, I teach you, I give you like 1 hour session, but the good news that these sessions are live and recorded. For Tuesdays, best, live and recorded from 9 to 10 p.m. CLT. But for Fridays, just live. And about just live. Once you are with us, you are going to be added to 3 WhatsApp groups. تمام؟ A WhatsApp group for discussion, الأورال والwritten مع أصحابك بتتكلم براحتك. A WhatsApp group أو 2 WhatsApp groups for material. كل الشغل اللي بحطه بقى في material بسميها VIP material that you must cover. وفي الextra material if you have free time you can cover. أنا بعمل إيه؟ بعمل لك to prioritize your tasks. نيجي لنقطة خطيرة في الكورس والحمد لله ناجحة، الstudy plan. زي ما تروح لدكتور الرجيم يحط لك كده جدول تتبعه صح؟ You need a study plan to follow. What should we do every day يا أسماء؟ أعمل إيه كل يوم? Because I know that you are all overwhelmed. I know that we have like here, most of you are like working candidates, or we have like parents, we have here working mothers, so you have many responsibilities, but you want to improve your English language proficiency for many sakes or many purposes. So I'm trying to help you by providing you, number 1, a study plan. Number 2, material groups, telling you this is very important to start with, and this is additional or supplementary. Also, we have this, the WhatsApp groups. The WhatsApp groups, okay, ال5 extra sessions حبيبي, I'm continuing, I'm completing الكورس بسمة. يعني هي مش حاجة extra ملاش كلام، لا ده أنا بخلص الشغل بتاع الجرامر يا بسمة عشان ما اقدرش اخلصه في 8 sessions. I need more than 8 sessions حبيبي في ال 8 weeks. تمام؟ طيب فهي جزء من الكوريكولم من الكور بتاعي. طيب بنعمل ديلي فولو اب، الواتساب جروب شغاله، انت شغال معايا كل يوم، بتصحى بسم الله at 9 a.m. till 10 p.m. الواتساب جروب شغاله متواجده، بنديك فيها listening الصبح وريدنج الساعه 12 الظهر، ونبدا نديك الدسكشن اما اورال او ريتن على 3 العصر. واحده من الانستراكتورز عندي بتبدا تصحى لك لغايه الساعه 10 مساء. انت شغال في اللغه كل يوم اهو. حاضر. عندي حاجه بتفرق جدا يا احمد والجميع، student support service. دي خطيره معنا مس منى حاتم، تعد اور انجل الملاك انجل انستراكتور. تدخل لايك وعد مش بقول لك اهو النهارده وتكتبها ورايا عشان تعرف ان الكلام اللي بيطلع من بوق اسماء جوه السيشن بتلاقيه باذن الله على ارض الواقع، مش كلام كده. 3 days per week من منى حاتم our student support coordinator in private لاحمد، in private لبسمه، in private لمايكو، in private لكل واحد، تقول لك how's everything, did you study, have you studied مثلا السيشنز بتاعتك ولا لسه، عملت ال daily tasks or not, what about the writing assignment, what about the speaking assignment, if not why did you miss it. She can provide you help. She's like your psychological consultant. If you are overwhelmed she will support you. دي واحده وظيفتها قويه جدا عندي في الشغل. تمام، اسمها ستودنت سبورت. يعني الطلبه بتيجي في النص بتتعب غصب عنها لان عندها مشاغل، فبتيجي ايه تظبط معاك، تبقى سبورت، تساعد، تقول لك انا معاك ما تقلقش. تمام، فده مهم، جزء خطير عندي. دي اسمها بقى ايه؟ consistency، استمراريه. انا معاك مستمره، مش بسيبك، مش بقول لك وباي باي بقى اتصرف انت كبير، لا، وبساعدك وبعمل لك سبورت. وبيننا واسماء ان برايفت، لمنا ولا اسماء، بنبقى في ظهرك من الاخر، في ظهر الطالب. Who can join this course? The perfect level is intermediate level، زي خلود كده، اللي يلاقي نفسه شبه خلود ده اللي معاه. او upper intermediate اللي هو ايه، احسن شويه من خلود، perfect معاه. يبقى ده eligible for intermediate level students او upper او فوق المتوسط بشويه. تمام، طبعا اما احنا we are consuming this يا مايكرو. طب how can I know that I am an intermediate level student or upper intermediate? You are going to conduct a placement test with me. طبعا after this session if you're interested هقول لك تعمل ايه. You should have a placement test, so I will screen it and then we'll send you an email about your level, what's your real level in English and if you can join my course or not. طب لا قدر الله انا مثلا I did the placement test يا اسماء معاكي بعد السيشن and my level was beginner or elementary، اعمل ايه؟ المفاجاه اللي هعلن عنها ان احنا طلعنا كورس جديد. في ناس معايا طلبه عارفيني من زمان ان ما كانش عندي الكورس ده، كورس اللي هو اللي بيطلع من عندي يا عيني ريجكتد لانه لسه مبتدئ او بعد المبتدئ بشويه، وفي قطاع كبير جدا كده يزعل يقول لي طب what should I do now and I can't join your course, what should I do؟ فمش عارفه اقول له ايه بصراحه، اقول له ايه ذاكر مع نفسك، مش عارفه اقول له ايه. ف we are launching a new course after 2 weeks بعد ما ابدا، اسمه e-builders course for elementary level مع مس نهاد، الناس الجميله جدا، بنتي يعني، هي بنتي مستوى، شخصيه، شطاره، proficiency, she's very professional، عندها experience قويه جدا بقى لها many years with beginners والelementary بالذات، بتعرف تشرح حلو قوي. هنعلن عنه على الصفحه عندي باذن الله وهنطلع الكورس. فممكن if you are rejected او not accepted you can join e-builders course مع مس نهاد، وهتعرف تفاصيلهم بقى من الكوردينيتور وسعره وكل. طبعا انت لو دخلت دلوقتي على صفحتي هوري لك اللينك، خلاص هتلاقي اللهم لك الحمد والشكر في كل راوند many reviews. بصراحه بيبقى ريفيوز على الواتساب، بتدخل مس منى حاتم، شايفه شبيندي ده واتساب مس منى حاتم، عشان تلاقي ايه 447 وحاجات كتيره، يعني ده شغل كتير يعني، ما تقلقوش. بس لو داخله على كل واحد in private so your feedback about the course please بعد ما بنخلص خالص بقى بعد 8 weeks. الحمد لله يا ربنا كرمنا بالدايما very positive feedback و good suggestions. في ناس تقترح عليا كمان حاجات احب انفذها بعد كده، احب جدا راي الطالب، جدا بيفرق معايا، بيعلمني. تمام، فاحنا عندنا كتير قوي من بصراحه الريفيوز، يعني انا مش عارفه احطها طبعا. انا هديك دلوقتي لينك الصفحه، ادخل شوف بقى بنفسك، يعني شوف الريفيوز. شايفين الكلام، يعني الكلام بقى اللي بيطلع بقى مش كلام بقى اللي هو برافو انتم ممتازين، لا، الكلام مثلا ده شخص يتكلم عن معاناته مع اللغه كانت عامله ازاي، شخص مثلا تانية بيقول لك قيمه الكورس قصاد اللي شافوه في الاحترافيه ايه. تمام، انا بس بعرفكم ان الحمد لله ان الواحد عمل السمعه الطيبه بكرم من الله مع تيم مخلص، ولان احنا فعلا يعني انا بالنسبه لي كاسماء بصراحه هو موتو، يعني ان ربنا يبارك لنا، فاهم، يبارك لنا في حياتنا ورزقنا ويوفقنا ونعمل التراست، عشان بعد كده لما الطلبه بتخلص معاك كورس تقول لك ايه، طلعي لنا اي كورس احنا معاكي بصراحه، طلعي لي كورس اطفال انا معاكي، طلعي لي كورس مستوى مبتدئ انا معاكي، خلاص مش هتكلم بقى، طلعي لي كورس سبيكينج انا معاكي، احنا بنقدم كل الكورسات دي، طلعي لي سيرفيس، صححي لي رايتنج، صححي لي سبيكينج للايس، صححي لي، انا معاكي. دي حقيقه، خلاص ما حدش بيقول ايه اسماء احنا مش مشكين، لا خلاص التراست حصل 4 years، ب4 سنين يا جماعه التراست بنبني فيه، فاهميني؟ فالحمد لله مس موجه معاكم اهي الكوردينيتور، بعت لكم لينك صفحتي، اعمل لها بس سيف لايك وفولو. لينك جروب ده كوميونتي جروب اللي لنا صفحه الادفانس جرامر، ده كوميونتي بيننا كفاميلي، لو عندك اي استفسار بتكتب وبنرد عليك على طول، وده الواتساب نمبر اوف ماي كوردينيتور المنسقه، جاست تيك ا سكرين شوت. في بقى بيج سربرايز بصراحه اكسكلوسيف فور ذس راوند. الراوند هيبدا بعد اسبوع next Friday. ايه بقى السربرايز؟ اهم جزء واخطر جزء الفيز. ماشي، انت عماله تقولي وتشرحي لنا وتقولي الكورس والكونتنت وبسم الله، يعني والشغل شكله كتير وكبير وجبنا قاسي وشفنا مشاكلنا وبدانا نحس اخبار بقى ايه الفيز ايه؟ بصوا يا جماعه، exclusive for this بتاع مش هتحرك ليه. بسم الله، الماوس راح فين؟ خلاص تمام، شويه سسبنس بس. exclusive for this round. This is the last round in 2021 صح؟ ده اخر راوند ليا في 2021. ان شاء الله ربنا يكرمنا ونكمل راوندات كتيره في سنوات عديده باذن الله يا رب. المبلغ ده ما كانش موجود قبل كده للفرد الطالب معايا، ما كانش موجود. ده كان ممكن يتواجد مع 3 يشتركوا مع بعض. لو سالتوا ناس كتيره يقول لك يا 2500 جنيه مصري في الشغل ده كله. كانت اسماء مثلا بيدوها لنا لما نبقى 3 مشتركين. لا انا خليته للطالب الواحد. ما بطلبش منك تجيب لي فريند عشان تاخد ال 2500. exclusive for this last round 2021 just 2500 جنيه مصري for 8 weeks 2 months daily on daily basis. انت شغال معايا كل يوم، مش بقابلك سيشن وبجري، مش الكلام ده. شهرين من اول يوم لاخر يوم، من الساعه 9 الصبح للساعه 10 بالليل شغل. فجت موجه هشرح. طب يا اسماء لو 2 مع بعض اصحاب لسه مكلماني من يومين، 2 اصحاب بقى وشجعيهم وكده، فقلنا حتى لو في 2 friends بدل ما يدفعوا مع بعض 5 في ايصال واحد، لا يدفعوا 4500 في 1 ريسيت، تشجيعا برضو لفكره التضامن. فريند بقى، كازن، husband and wife، اي حاجه، colleagues، neighbors، براحتكم يعني. just in 1 receipt you pay 5000 instead of 4500 الاثنين مع بعض. لوحدك 2500 جنيه. سؤال بقى جميل يقول لك ايه؟ الرقم ده ما كانش موجود زمان خالص، من 2.5 3 عشان تبقوا عارفين. بس اسالوا بقى، لو عايزين تسالوا اسالوا، انا مش هتكلم. الرقم ده كان مش موجود خالص. فالسؤال المهم تقول لك طب انت عامله ديسكاونت كبير بالرغم ان كان المبلغ قبل كده اكبر من كده بصراحه. ليه؟ هل انت بقى قللتي في السيرفيس؟ السؤال اللي يجي مصري يقول لك قللت في الخدمات، هتدي كونتنت ضعيف. يشهد ربنا انه بما زي ما هو بل وافضل، لان بحب احسن في الشغل. عمري ما بلعب في الكواليتي. والله العظيم، شوف انا بقول قدام ربنا عمري ما العب في الكواليتي قصاد فلوس. ما بقدرش يعني، انا فعلا ما بقدرش اقول لك ايه اوفر في اقلل فلوس، العب في الكونتنت، اقلل بقى ايه. التيم مثلا بيعملوا 8 رايتنج اخليهم 5. فاهم انت اللعب ده؟ ما ده تيم بياخد مني برده بادجت. اجي في السبيكينج بيعمل كذا اقلل منه رقم. فاهم انت اللعب ده؟ ما حدش واخد باله. ما اقدرش، حرام، ما استحملش. يعني انتوا اخواتي. يعني ايه اخواتي؟ يعني لازم اتاكد ان انت طالع من عندي راضي وتعلمت وتقول لي ربنا يبارك لك. خلصت يعني. اقول لك نقطه من اول السطر، لم العب في في كده في سيرفيس او في كونتنت بنفس. والمبلغ قل بصراحه. ليه قللت المبلغ؟ تضامنا مننا كتيم ادفانس جرامر اند فوكابري مع الناس. كورونا ومشاكل الكورونا وناس كتيره مش لاقيه شغل، والشغل واللي كانوا في الخليج مش عايزين ينزلوا مصر. انا عارفه في ازمه، فبحاول تخفيفا مننا ومع الناس ان انا على قد ما اقدر استطيع ان انا اظبط الفيز مع الطالب بس، وربنا عالم بده. طيب ways of payment بندفع ازاي مع الكورنيتور؟ ما تقلقوش خالص، هي بتديكم كل التفاصيل بعد كده، مش انا طبعا الكورنيتور. اما عن طريق بقى تحويل بنك اهل مصري، تحويل بنك CIB او فودافون كاش او محفظه الكترونيه على ارقام معينه، بتدفع براحتك خالص المبلغ سواء لوحدك او 2 مع بعض او 3 مع بعض او 4 مع بعض. واحد يقول لي طب احنا 2، طب احنا 3 يا اسماء، 4500 دي ممكن تقل. لا هي بقى يعني هي ايه، خلاص لو انا بعمل 2 مع بعض باخد كل 2 4500، كل 2 4500. تمام، ما بقدرش اقلل عن كده. these free online resources حلوه جدا for improving your English language proficiency. خدوا منها سكرين شوت. reading articles حلوه جدا. BBC News ارجوكم ابداوا to read articles فيها different genre، مواضيع مختلفه و different topics so you can get more vocabulary about these topics. جريدة The Guardian جميلة جدا جدا، بتدي articles في about different topics عشان to improve your English language lexical resource. انت عايز مصدر يديك مفردات ومرادفات مظبوطة، فتاخدها من ايه؟ من authentic resources حقيقية، مصدر حقيقي اللي هم ايه؟ like BBC News, The Guardian. في عندك ستيتشر، ده بودكاست بتنزل على اي موبايل فون. ستيتشر ابلكيشن، اسمع listen. اما ستيتشر او BBC Learning تحفه. applications على اي موبايل. اما بودكاست بتسمعها about different topics to improve your listening skill and to acquire new vocabulary and to learn perfect pronunciation. ده مهم قوي. ده اسمع. تمام. في طبعا TED Talks جميل جدا for presentations. في e-books There are hundreds or thousands of e-books that you can download and read if you can't afford. مش قادر تشتري كتب بالانجلش، تدخل على e-books وتجيب كتب ببلاش، اعملها داونلود. ففي ممكن ربنا ادانا التكنولوجي واكرمنا بيها ان احنا ممكن نتطور جدا في اللغه، بقى عندنا القدره دي. تمام؟ طيب ده تو لينكس اللي مس مهجه شاركتها معاكم المنسقه. لينك الصفحه بتاعتي اهي Advanced Grammar and Vocabulary، بس اعمل لها لايك، اقرا الريفيوز بقى. احنا بنقدم كورسات كتير قوي يا جماعه. كورس الام اللي هو كورس Advanced Grammar، ده اللي هو كورس اسماء يعني والتيم، ده كورس الام بدات بيه باسم الصفحه. في عندنا كورس سبيكينج ساندويتش كورس مع ميس اسراء، في كورس اطفال مع تيتشر ايجيبشن كنديان مس ساره، اطفال عندنا اونلاين عايشه في كندا. في عندنا كورس جديد اي بيلدرز مع ميس نهاد اللي لسه هنعلن عنه للمستوى المبتدئ او الاليمنتري نشتغل عليه. في سيرفيسز لتصحيح رايتنج، تصحيح سبيكينج بالايلتس. تمام؟ وده كله ممكن تعرفوه عن طريق مس مهجه المنسقه. الواتساب نمبر يا جماعه سيفوه عندكم عشان تقدروا تسالوا عن كل السيرفيسز والكورسز اللي بنقدمها تحت اسم الادفانس جرامر and vocabulary. طيب the last question and then I'm done. If you want to join this course، اول حاجه if I want to know more my level. طيب انت عم تقولي your level, I have to know my level. I want to know my level. You need to take a placement test. This is a free placement test. We offer you a free placement test, guys. يعني ابقى بديك من عندي free placement test، مش هطلب منك فلوس، مفيش فيز، لسه ما خدش منك حاجه. This is the WhatsApp number. Just take a screenshot بالموبايل دلوقتي وانا معاك، امسك الموبايل، تك صوره او سيف الرقم ده على طول. كود طبعا بره مصر هيحط 002 بره مصر، والرقم بقى نفسه 010 177 431 33. This is the WhatsApp number of my coordinator Miss مهجة اللي هي عماله تكتب لكم كل حاجه دلوقتي. So if you want to take a free placement test هيكون في جزء grammar، جزء vocabulary exercises، واهم جزء هو writing. You are asked to write about your future plans and to write not less than 10 sentences. You are not asked، مش هطلب منك انك تكتب essay، لا حرام، انت لسه مستوى المتوسط، لا paragraph، بس ارجوكم لا يقل عن 10 جمل حقيقيين. And never cheat، ما تقعدش بقى تفتح وكوبي بيست. Don't cheat yourself. انا عايزه انت بنفسك تكتب minimum 10 sentences about your future plans. عايز تبقى معانا، عايز تاخد الفري بليسمنت تيست to join this course you must take the placement test. عمر ما حد يدخل معانا غير بليسمنت تيست، ما اقدرش. البليسمنت تيست بتبعت دلوقتي a message to this WhatsApp number. سيب الواتساب نمبر، send a message للمنسقه لو سمحتي البليسمنت تيست. هتبعت لك لينك بسيط جدا تفتحه عندك على اللابتوب. تمام؟ بتحل الكويستشنز، بتكتب الباراجراف of 10 sentences and more and then بتعمله submit. within 3 days من السبمشن بتاعك بيكون انا عملت له سكريننج، مش تصحيح، لا سكريننج، وهدي للكورنيتور لكل واحد الليفل بتاعه ايه على حسب اللي انا شفته في الرايتنج. طب لو انت اكسبتد اقول لك يو ار اكسبتد عشان الليفل بتاعك اما انترميديت او ابر. طب لو انت less than intermediate هقول لك you are advised to join e-builders course، ومس مهجة هتديك تفاصيل الكورس والريجستريشن لينك لكورس مس نهاد e-builders هيبدا بعد 2 weeks من بدايه الكورس عندي. فاحنا هناخدكم مش هنسيبكم، لا معايا او اللي لسه مش قادر يبقى مع مس نهاد في الاي بيلدرز، يتاسس بعد كده يدخل معاك. عندك 24 hours to solve this test. تمام؟ او يا سيدي حتى 48 hours. once انت تبعته بس دلوقتي واتساب مسج، طالبه منكم حاجه واحده بس، واتساب مسج to this WhatsApp number asking for the placement test. خدتوا اللينك في within يا اما 24 يا سيدي 48 hours، مفيش مشكله 2 days حتى. please answer the question, do the writing, submit. واحنا بقى نقول لك بعد كده your level, what should you do. لو انت معانا how can you pay for this course، عشان نبدا معانا يا جماعه اول سيشن واهم سيشن يوم الجمعه how to write a correct academic essay، وبعد كده ندخل بقى في كل مشاكل الجرامر لغايه ما نخلص ال 8 weeks على خير. Is it clear? Is it clear? If you have any questions you can ask me now. If you still have any questions about the content, about the outline of the course, about the fees, anything, you can just ask me now. I'm going to stop the recording. Now let me just pause it.